is working in ways that you cannot yet perceive. Isaiah 55:8-9 reminds us, "For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, declares the Lord. As the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts." Let prayer fuel your journey of transformation. Keep praying when it's hard, when you feel discouraged, and when the answers seem delayed. Every moment spent in prayer strengthens your connection to God and reinforces your faith in His plan. Are you ready to deepen your prayer life and invite God's transformative power into every corner of your heart? Trust that as you pray, God is working in you, through you, and for you, shaping you into the person He has called you to be. Stepping out of your comfort zone is one of the most challenging yet transformative things you'll ever do. As humans, we naturally gravitate toward what feels familiar, safe, and predictable. But when the Holy Spirit begins to work in your life, He often calls you into the unknown, into places where your reliance on God must grow stronger. This leap of faith can feel overwhelming, especially when you don't know what lies ahead. Yet, stepping out in faith is the very key to unlocking the fullness of God's incredible plan for your life. God's plans are far greater than anything we could imagine, and they require bold steps of faith. These steps may lead you to face new challenges, build unexpected relationships, or embrace opportunities that seem intimidating at first. Have you ever hesitated, feeling unqualified or unprepared for what God is asking you to do? Remember, God doesn't call the equipped, He equips those He calls. In 2 Corinthians 12:9, God reminds us, "My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness." Whatever you lack, God will provide. He will strengthen, guide, and prepare you for the journey ahead. As you step out of your comfort zone, you'll begin to witness God's faithfulness in remarkable ways. You'll see His provision show up at just the right moments and experience His guidance when the path ahead seems unclear. Each step of obedience will bring you closer to the person He created you to be. What once seemed uncomfortable or even impossible will become a stepping stone toward deeper faith and greater growth. Have you considered how your willingness to trust God could lead to blessings beyond your imagination? Walking in God's plan requires trust. Trust to let go of your agenda and embrace His will. Proverbs 3:5-6 encourages us, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to Him, and He will make your paths straight." When you surrender control, you'll experience a peace that surpasses understanding. A peace that comes from knowing that God's ways are higher and His plans are perfect. Every challenge, every obstacle, and every decision becomes part of the divine masterpiece He is crafting in your life. It's not easy to release control, but when you do, you'll discover the joy and purpose that come from walking in alignment with God's will. Stepping out of your comfort zone is the beginning of a new chapter, one filled with faith, purpose, and the empowering presence of the Holy Spirit. What if the very discomfort you fear is the gateway to your greatest growth? Imagine the transformation that awaits as you embrace God's call with courage and trust. Each step forward is a declaration of faith, a commitment to becoming the person God has designed you to be. Are you ready to leave behind the familiar and step into the extraordinary life He has planned for you? Yes. One of the most profound and beautiful signs of spiritual transformation is the evidence of the fruit of the Spirit in your life. Galatians 5:22-23 describes these fruits as love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. These qualities are not simply traits you work hard to develop on your own. They are the natural outpouring of God's presence in your heart. When the Holy Spirit takes root in your life, these fruits begin to flourish, transforming how you live and how you impact those around you. As you grow in the Spirit, you'll notice significant changes in your relationships and interactions. Love becomes more unconditional, extending even to those who are difficult to love. Joy takes root, becoming a steady presence that is not dependent on circumstances. Peace becomes your anchor, keeping you grounded even in the storms of life. Patience, once a struggle, begins to flow naturally, and kindness becomes your instinctive response to others. These fruits are more than personal virtues. They are living proof of God's transformative work in you. They reveal to the world that you are a reflection of His love and grace. Yet, living out the fruits of the Spirit is not without its challenges. There will be moments when your patience is stretched thin, when showing kindness feels impossible, or when self-control seems out of reach. These moments are opportunities to lean into the power of the Holy Spirit. You don't have to rely on your own strength to embody these qualities. Philippians 4:13 reminds us, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. The Spirit empowers you to love when it's hard, to forgive when it's painful, and to stay faithful when it's tempting to give up. Bearing the fruit of the Spirit makes you a living testimony of God's grace and power. People around you will notice the changes in your demeanor, your actions, and your heart. They will be drawn to the peace and joy that radiates from your life, even if they don't fully understand its source. Have you ever considered how your transformed life might inspire others to seek the same peace and joy? This journey is not about striving for perfection, but about surrendering to God's work in you. The more you yield to the Holy Spirit, the more these fruits will grow and flourish. John 15:5 says, I am the vine, you are the branches. If you remain in me and I in you, you will bear much fruit. The closer you stay to God, the more you will reflect His character and love to the world. When you live out the fruit of the Spirit, you are not just changing your own life, you are impacting the lives of those around you. Imagine the influence of your love, joy, and peace in your family, community, and beyond. What if your patience and kindness could soften someone's heart? What if your self-control could inspire someone to seek their own transformation? As you allow God to work through you, your life becomes a beacon of hope, drawing others closer to Him. One of the most challenging aspects of spiritual transformation is learning to trust God's timing. In a world that prioritizes instant gratification and quick results, waiting on God can feel frustrating and even confusing. You may find yourself questioning why certain doors remain closed, why progress feels slow, or why the answers to your prayers seem delayed. But here's the truth. God's timing is never random. It is always intentional, designed to align perfectly with His plan for your life. Even when it feels like nothing is happening, God is working behind the scenes, preparing you for the next step of your journey. Trusting God's timing allows you to rest in His sovereignty. It requires letting go of the urge to control every detail of your life, and instead leaning into the peace that comes from knowing that God is in charge. Isaiah 55:8-9 reminds us, For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, declares the Lord. As the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts. This perspective shifts your focus from impatience to trust, helping you embrace the process rather than resist it. This trust doesn't mean that the waiting will be easy. There will still be moments of doubt and frustration, but trusting in God's perfect timing gives you confidence that He is in control. Have you ever looked back on a season of waiting and realized how much it prepared you for what came next?
Yep.
Often, it's in hindsight that we see how God's timing was orchestrating everything for our good.
He's fading. There's
Every
no more
season of
shadow for
waiting
you.
is an opportunity
You can
for
only
growth
operate in the
and
shadows.
refinement. Romans 8:28 reassures us, and we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him, who have been called according to His purpose. Even when you can't see the